This video was created by VinylicPuma of VinylicPumaGaming. What's going on, everybody? This is VinylicPuma, and I want to talk to you guys about EA COO Peter Moore's thoughts on core gamers. So Gamesindustry International basically had an interview with Peter Moore, and I think a lot of what they were talking about was the state of the gaming industry, where the gaming industry is going today, and of course EA's COO Peter Moore thinks that it's going in the free-to-play direction. And in certain ways, I'll be honest, and hate me, throw rocks at me later, but I think in certain ways he's right. Now, everything that Peter Moore says isn't really bad. Now, according to Peter Moore, he says, quote, "I think we're going into almost a golden age of gaming where it doesn't matter where you are at any time, any place, any price point, any amount of time, there's a game available to you," Moore says. And our job as a company is to provide those game experiences, and then our big franchises tie them all together. Now, for the most part, I think I can agree with that. Really, I don't really know so much on consoles, but I know at least on Steam what you can do is you can, as long as you click the coming soon or the new releases tab, I mean, you can pretty much find a lot of games at a bunch of different price points, and some of them are fantastic. There's one in particular, the gameplay footage you're watching now is from Sweezy Gunner, which, I mean, I think it's like $5, and it's like Zelda with Ikaraga. So that's kind of cool. But, I mean, what I think really bothered a lot of people about what Peter Moore said is this. I quote, "I think the challenge sometimes is that the growth of gaming, there's a core that doesn't quite feel comfortable with that," Moore says. "Your readers, the industry in particular, I don't get frustrated, but I scratch my head at times and say, look, these are different times. And different times usually evoke different business models. Different consumers come in, they've got different expectations. And we can either ignore them or embrace them. And at EA, we've chosen to embrace them." Now, what a lot of what Peter Moore is referring to is the idea of revenue streams for game developers. One thing that they mention a lot in the Games Industry International article is the idea of games as a service. Generally, when you look at the past of video games, games were kind of put together. They were released once, and then they came out. The most recent game that was really like this was Wolfenstein: The New Order, and it really harkens back to the old days of put a game together, make it badass, and then ship it. And I mean, a lot of people really liked that game, and it was a fantastic game. What's interesting about it is I found myself wanting DLC. But now we're getting away from the point. Mainly what he's talking about is they just want revenue streams for these games, because when you have games as a service, you have these games, they have like support staff, they have like technical supports teams, and it actually costs money to run the game that you just spent probably millions of dollars to release on store shelves for people to buy. So not only are there the costs of getting it distributed, forgetting digital distribution. I mean, this is kind of a problem, and I see where he's coming from. At the same time, though, I kind of want to give my thoughts on all of this. Really, I feel like Peter Moore, talking about there's just this core that doesn't like what we do. Well, I mean, Peter Moore, EA, and everybody at EA, I mean, some of the games you've been putting out lately haven't been good, or they've been having major controversies around them. Let's start with 2012, shall we? Mass Effect 3. The ending was not good. But people actually now are hesitant to buy games from BioWare, or at least I am. Number 2, Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 was broken. And then, of course, you've got some of these free-to-play model games that you guys have been releasing with basically paywalls to where you can't enjoy any more of the content unless you pay like almost $20 or more than what a AAA game would cost to just play these, like, what are essentially tablet games. And I think really what you guys need to realize is that, and I think you guys kind of in a way have the right mindset. You want to make games that are free to play, and then you want people to pay you money over long periods of time for these games. That's a fantastic idea. I can see you already doing that with Star Wars, The Old Republic. Even though you should have made a Knights of the Old Republic 3, I won't bitch about that. The thing is, I can see why that's a good idea. At the same time, though, the game, if you're going to make a game that's free to play, that game has to be fantastic. It has to be the quality of League of Legends, Dota 2, Path of Exile, Counter-Strike. Actually, Counter-Strike's not free to play. Even Team Fortress. Games like those are very popular, very fun games, and people are willing to buy content and heads and skins on those games. Heads and skins don't even improve perks to the gameplay. Like, people just want to differentiate. And I think if you look at people's interest in differentiating in these fantastic games, I mean, look at Counter-Strike. People are paying like ridiculous sums of money just to have a Counter-Strike gun skin. I mean, that's what you need to be going at, maybe. And really, if you're going to do free to play, the game needs to be good before you have to start paying for it. But those are my thoughts. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts? Do you think that EA's Peter Moore is just a jerk and a scumbag? In a way, I don't really think he is, but I think EA as a whole, based on what he's saying, just really needs to change their outlook. Core gamers are not the enemy. Core gamers are the most loyal fans you have. And I think going into the future, I mean, looking at these new ways to develop these revenue streams is important. But at the same time, you must deliver high-quality games. But anyway, guys, I'd like to thank you all for watching this video. If you did like the video, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Mainly, if you don't even have to subscribe, rate, like, and comment. I like to hear your guys' feedback, and I like reading your guys' comments. So please do that. Anyway, guys, I'm going to say farewell, take care, and have a good one.